This episode, man, is going to hit home for a lot of folks, man. A lot of people is going to be able to relate to this and understand this, man. And I ain't going to lie, I had to hit my blunt for this because shit getting real. And a lot of times we don't know how to deal with that shit and handle that shit. So, first off, let me say this clearly, right? A honeymoon stage doesn't end because something went wrong. It ends because reality has showed up. And when shit start getting real, that's when the real relationship actually begins. You know what I'm saying? That's when you start seeing shit for what it is. So let's be real for a moment, right? The honeymoon stage is easy as fuck. Everybody's on their best behavior. Red flags feel like quirks. Communication feels effortless. Love feels light. But then real life steps in and shit gets real serious. Stress, bills, triggers, boundaries, unhealed parts. Shit you didn't even know that you needed to heal from start showing up and you don't know how to fucking handle it or process it. And suddenly you're not just dating potential anymore. You're dating patterns, right? You know what I'm saying? Like me and my wife, man, we only been together a couple years and the honeymoon stage is over with. So we got into our first big argument, man, and you know, the thing is you have to realize that you are two different people coming together as one. Especially if you are dealing with someone with kids and you've been single or you have kids and that person's been single for so many years or how many years and y'all coming together as one as a team, as a partnership. So that means that both of y'all shit together is sometimes can butt heads because y'all views aren't the same a lot of the times on certain things, and you know what I'm saying. It can cause a lot of friction. But the thing is, you have to realize, or you have to ask yourself, is this shit worth it? Is this relationship worth it? Is this person worth it? Is it worth your time? Is it worth your energy? Is it worth your effort? Is this person trying to build this, to continue to build this partnership with you, or are you just fighting this battle alone? Because if you're fighting a battle alone, there's no point of getting in the ring. You know what I'm saying? There's no point of fighting a battle that you're fighting yourself. You're fighting against yourself, and that's not gonna get you nowhere. And this is where people start asking the real question. Is it worth working through? Or is this my sign to walk away? When the arguments start, when the disagreements start, when you start looking at the person side eyed a little bit, is it worth it? Or do you think you just need to get the fuck on and go on about your life? And it's okay to start over. And I think that's where a lot of people fuck up or they feel like they're stuck because they're afraid to start over. When in reality, you start over every single fucking day. Every day you starting over. So you should not be scared to walk away based on love. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to get you anywhere. Don't be scared to start over because of love, because you don't want to get your heart broke again. You might get your heart broke a thousand times in your life. But that depends on you if you decide that what's your worth and if your energy is worth dealing with somebody, if this person is worth understanding and receiving your energy enough to work through whatever problems y'all got. So is it worth it to stick through it after the honeymoon stage? That's only a question that you can answer yourself from your perspective. And for me personally, it's like it may be worth it and it may not. I've been in situations where it definitely was not worth for me to stay in a relationship after the honeymoon stage has passed because we just didn't align, we just didn't connect. And that's okay. I was able to walk away from that situation. So from my chair, I learned that the end of the honeymoon stage doesn't mean the relationship is doomed, right? But it does reveal the truth. It shows it shows you how to like handle someone's conflict, how someone handles their conflict, how they listen when it's uncomfortable, how they take accountability, how they respond when the fantasy fades. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to when it's hard to communicate with your partner after the honeymoon phase is over with. It's you have to make that decision, right? Do I want to give them a chance to try to process what I'm saying, or do I just am I just tired of explaining myself and saying fuck it and walking away? And that's the thing that you have to really process and think about on your own time. Can't nobody help you figure out if you're gonna walk away from a relationship. Everybody has their input and everybody has their opinion on how the relationship should go or what you should do or how you should handle this, but only you can decide how you handle the relationship. If you're gonna walk away, if you're gonna stay, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Because love after the honeymoon stage is not just about chemistry anymore. It's about character. And if you're over 30, you know this already, right? At this stage, love isn't supposed to feel confusing all the time. You're not supposed to be looking for perfection. You're looking for emotional safety. If you're asking questions like, "Can we talk about this without disrespect? Can we repair after conflict? Do I feel heard or dismissed?" These are the type of questions that you need to ask yourself before moving forward. Once you start realizing, like, okay, wait a fucking minute, we arguing all the time. We feel it's a little disconnection going on. We don't seem to really understand each other. The communication turns into argument. You have to ask yourself these questions. And it's okay to ask these questions. These questions aren't for you and your partner to answer together, though. It's for you and only you. You know what I'm saying? Only you can answer these questions. And if this is how you feel now, the next step you could take is you can discuss these questions with your partner, and y'all can figure out a way um to fix these things if y'all feel like that it's worth it. If y'all feel like y'all want to continue the relationship. But if it's toxic and it's conflict and it's disrespect, there's no need to continue a relationship. And again, if you're over 30 and you understand yourself and you understand your definition of love and respect and compromise in a relationship, then these questions are not hard for you to answer. And it's also not hard for you to answer these questions and deal with them accordingly because you already know. There's no point in wasting your time if any of these questions does not fit what you believe that a relationship should be. You know what I'm saying? You can argue and disagree without being disrespected. You can argue and disagree without it being blown out of proportion and it turning into a long drawn out conflict. You can have these things. You're supposed to be able to express your emotions, express how you feel, and feel like your partner is understanding or processing or understanding your what you feeling. And if you feel like your partner does not, then that might be your sign to walk away, and that's okay. Standards you didn't have in your 20s and things that no longer you no longer excuse, you know what I'm saying, things that you may have dealt with when you were younger and you get to a point now when it's like, okay, I recognize that for what it is and I'm not dealing with that. That's a boundary. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not accepting it, and that's okay too. The thing is, you have to get with a partner that understands that because nobody is perfect. And if you're coming into a relationship with a person that has lived and traveled on a different path than you their entire life, and then y'all come together, you have to realize that, yeah, you may feel this way about something in particular, and they may also feel a way about this same thing in particular. The goal is to come together and figure out how you guys can compromise so that the both of you can feel like you are heard and loved, appreciated, and respected in y'all union. That's the whole thing. A lot of times we don't understand that people are just not meant to be. People aren't, you just not compatible, and it may take a little time to understand that or to realize that. But once you realize that, it is now your job to say, okay, we don't align and maybe I should walk away from this situation. Yes, I love this person. Yes, I want to be with this person deep down. But if you don't align, you don't align. So now you're going to be just putting yourself through bullshit that you don't have to put yourself through because of love. And at the end of the day, love is not enough. I'm going to say that again. Love is not enough. If you don't have respect, communication, trust, compromise, understanding, empathy, sympathy, if you don't have these things in a relationship while trying to build and grow with somebody, it's just not going to work, right? Chemistry might bring you together, but consistency is what keeps you. Y'all might be vibing all through the beginning. It's fun, laughs, jokes, trips, dates, all this shit might be good in the beginning, but when real life hits you, are y'all still connected? Do y'all still have an understanding? Do y'all still care about each other enough to understand that sometimes life's fucking happen? Life happen. And lately life been lifing like a motherfucker. So if you got a partner that understand that life definitely be lifing sometimes, then you probably have a good partner. And like I said, that's not all it takes, but 9 times out of 10, if you have a partner that understands that life happens, people change, then you probably it's probably a good chance that you can work through whatever issues y'all got. But it's on you to understand that, and it's on you and your partner to figure out what's best for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Not on nobody else. Can't nobody give you no advice or nothing like that. You can vent, but can't nobody tell you how to handle your relationship. So I had to learn this shit the hard way, right? The honeymoon stage, the honeymoon stage ending, the honeymoon stage ending is not the problem. What happened after is, if both people are willing to grow, communicate, and take accountability, the relationship can deepen. If both of y'all are on the same page, then your relationship is strong and it can go further. If one person thinks they're never wrong and the other person is telling you like, but you did some wrong shit, and this person like, I don't see it that way, then you know what I'm saying, that's conflict. That's how shit get fucked up. That's how relationships end. That's how resentment happens in a relationship. That's how conflict happens in relationships. And in the end, y'all not gonna be together. But if one person avoids hard conversation, minimize your feelings, or keep showing you the same hurtful behavior, then it's kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you still doing there? Right? So me and my wife, we had this talk often. I'm not as affectionate as she would like for me to be. Now, my thing is, I didn't grow up like that. I was told PDA is not really the thing to be doing. I was told, and then me being a lesbian all my damn life, I was told that PDA draws attention. And I grew up in a time where at first being a lesbian wasn't really necessarily accepted. So you would get the looks and you would get the stares and you would get the comments and you would get all this shit. So you didn't want to draw attention to yourself, right? So and then I didn't really get too many hugs and all that shit, and it didn't affect me in a way that it might have affected other people, but it drew me away from affection to a sort. Like she wants me like, and then on top of that, I have social anxiety. So being out in public, I'm always on. I'm not on lovey-dovey mode. I'm on goddamn scope the scene type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just make sure everybody cool in this motherfucker, especially me and the person that or people that I came with. And like I said, our biggest conflict and things that we say is I'm not affectionate enough. Now, the problem is with me on my part is, okay, I've expressed that this is how I was raised. This is what it is, and she says she was raised the same way. But I have to tell her, just because you was raised the same way, or you experienced the same thing, doesn't mean we took from it the same thing. It doesn't mean that we grew up to take from that experience the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That's like two sons growing up with a drunk dad, and one son grow up a super drunk, and the other son grow up to not ever have touched any type of liquor or drugs in their life. You know what I'm saying? It's two different experiences. So I have to have her understand that sometimes I'm just not used to it. And I understand that that causes problems, so I try as much as I can while still trying to get over that, PDA shit is not cool. PDA shit draws attention. PDA, and I don't like that. I don't like drawing attention to myself. So that's also where that comes in. That's also where that becomes an issue and a conflict. But I hear her when she tell me these things that I'm not affectionate enough, that I don't hold her hand enough, and I try to genuinely change these things. Now the problem comes in is, she doesn't. I don't feel like she recognizes the change. I don't feel like she recognizes me trying. And when I bring this to her attention, then it becomes a tit for tat thing. And I'm just like, it's not that. But if a person is trying, and this is for anybody out here that is going through anything like this, if a person is trying to change in order to make you happy as your partner, then it's it's not gonna cause any type of nothing for you to recognize that this person is trying, especially when it's outside of anything that they're used to doing. So if they're trying to be somebody that they never was for you, it's always good for your partnership, for your relationship, to recognize that this person is genuinely hearing me and this person is genuinely trying to do or to be the person that I want them or need them to be. Now, when it may not be every day, it may not be all the time, it may not be 24/7, but coming from a person that is not used to giving affection or public affection at all, um, or receiving it at all, and them trying to do something that's affectionate and trying to be the affectionate person, that is a big step for that person. And at the moment, I just feel like she doesn't understand completely that me getting over that hump in order to appease her and to make her happy because that's what I want to do, not because it's a forced action, not because of anything. It's because I want to make her happy. I want to become the person that she needs me to be. So I'm trying my hardest to get over this hump, and it's just like, okay, I don't know what else to do. So it's just now it seems like it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? And that right there can push a person away. But I love my girl, right? So I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm trying, right? But what I want to tell y'all that's going through a similar situation is it's only so much a person can do outside of the person that they used to be in order to become the person that you need or want them to be without you acknowledging it. It's not about getting brownie points. It's not about no. It's not about getting brownie points. It's not about tit for tat. It's not about, oh, I gave you a hug today, you didn't give me a hug. Or I told you I loved you today, you didn't tell me you. It's not about that. It's about this person stepping outside their body and being the person that they used to be previously to ever meeting you and transforming into a person that you want them to be because they love you. Show appreciation for that because that's harder than you may believe. Just because you think that this should be automatic, this should be an automatic thing for them, it's not a lot of the times. And I feel like that's just where the disconnect come in with me and my wife, is because I feel like she believes that this is what it's supposed to be because we're in a relationship and she's affectionate and I'm not. But the more I try to explain to her, it's like, it's a disconnect there, and it's like we're kind of like in between, um trying to figure that out and handling it accordingly. And a lot of times, she doesn't do things that I'm used to doing. You know what I'm saying? I like to slap ass, I like to touch old ass, I like to do shit like that. She doesn't like that. I'm a more sexual person. She is not. So it's a lot of conflict that we have to go through and things that we have to go through in order to come together as a partnership in order for us to grow. And it's on us to figure out if this is worth it. Can I deal with having a partner that's not as sexual as I am? Can she deal with a partner that's not as affectionate as I am, but is trying to be? So that's just where we at, and that's just a little bit of my personal life. But it's people that's also going through this. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here that is going through these same things, and they don't really know what to do. And I'm telling you, if it's worth it, then do what you have to do in order for your partnership and your relationship to grow. You know what I'm saying? Love doesn't always fix everything. Like I said, it's not enough. It's not enough. But if you try and you want to try and you want to be this person or you want to do these things and you want to make your partner happy, it's not going to be hard either. Staying only makes sense when growth is mutual. So if you both have an understanding, like, okay, this person was not like this and I was not like this, but together we could come in the middle and we could compromise something, then cool. That's the only way it's going to work, right? Right. So is it worth staying or walking away? Right. Here's the honest answer. Stay only if there's accountability. Stay if there's effort on both sides. Stay if There's respect, even in conflict. Y'all don't, because y'all may cuss and shout and yell, but there's always a respect line that no one crosses, right? But walk away if you keep explaining the same pain. Walk away if you're shrinking to keep peace. Walk away if you feel more anxious than safe. That's it. Love should feel challenging at times, but it should not feel draining all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to sit with this. I want you to sit with this question here, right? Are you dealing with discomfort or disrespect in your relationship? Is the relationship asking you to grow or abandon yourself? Because you don't need to decide that today, right? You don't need to decide. You don't need to answer these questions today and be like, "Yep, that's it." Right? You need time to process these and really think about it, and it may take a while. But keep these questions in your head. But you do need to be honest with yourself, right? The honeymoon stage ending isn't a failure. It's clarity. And clarity gives you options, right? Always remember that. It's not, the honeymoon stage is ending, is not failure. It's just clarity. And clarity gives you options. So if this conversation felt familiar, if it named something you've been questioning quietly, stay in the room with me. Comment, DM me, let me know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the perfect person. I don't have all the answers, but at the same time, I know from life experiences how to handle some shit, and I can help you just like you can help me. And it's and that's just what it is. That's what we're here for. As people on this earth, in this world, is to help each other in one way or another. So follow Renn's Room. Share this with someone who's navigating real love and not fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's you, whether that's your sister, your brother, your cousin, your mama, whoever, your friend, your homie at work, the lady that's venting to you about her relationship at work, share this with them, man. And I promise you, it's going to help them figure out if it's worth it, right? So I'll talk to y'all soon. Make sure you go ahead and comment, DM me, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on, subscribe to me on YouTube, man. And I appreciate y'all listening. Just understand your happiness matters. And at the end of the day, you have to spread love and joy for yourself and to others. So until next time, man, until the next episode, I'm going to see y'all later, man. I appreciate y'all joining.